But anyway, in this case, I am putting on the hat of a real estate buyer. That's what I'm looking at. A wholesaler brought me a deal that they couldn't close cash. And so, Don, I know you have a lot of creative ways to put things together. I know you do this seller financing thing like nobody's business. So see if you can make something out of this. And, hey, pop me some money if you end up closing it. And I said, sure thing. No worries. So anyway, this seller was asking $250,000 cash. And which is for a housing in this area is very good. The problem is it's a mobile home, 1968 mobile home that has no title. No title, can't ever get a title. You'll never be able to get a title to convert it to real property, so it's on the secured tax roll. But what the people did is they built like stick-built stuff around it, so it actually looks like a really nice little 3-2. But there's no title to it. So basically I'm buying land and I can't, as far as I know, I guess I didn't exhaust every resource. As far as I know, I can't insure the property, but I would like it. It would rent. I don't think I could in good conscience sell this to someone else knowing I can't give them clear title. This is like, hey, rent it out until the thing falls apart, you scrape it and you rebuild a stick built, or you put another manufactured on there. So that's my thinking going into this. So I don't really want to pay all cash because that's too much, that's a lot of risk and it doesn't pencil out, right? It doesn't pencil out for me given the circumstances. So what was I willing to do? So this is one example of, okay, option one, I'll give you $471,000. You're only asking this, but you need to give me some time. I said, I'll give you $12,000 up front and you'll get 30 payments of $1,274. So that's her carrying the whole fully amortized note. And I believe I would carry it this long, as it would go to my family and they'd probably do it because like I said, there's limited disposition or exit strategies with this one. Option two, I said, if you need a little bit more money, and so I'm just throwing things out there, not knowing what's going to stick, right? And if a buyer or seller picks one of these or says, I like this about this and I like this about this, can we do some sort of a hybrid? Then I have something to work with, right? Because there's 1,000,001 ways to put a deal together. Like, no lie. Actually, I sent her more like 6 or 7 through our email exchanges, options, different ways to put it together, and I'll go into those in the little training. I'll show you like me pulling my gray matter, stirring it up and pulling it out and spreading it out all over the desk and trying to put the pieces together in all the ways I could think of. I mean, I really worked hard on this one. Now, to get her price, right? To get her price and more, I need terms. I need some time. The more time you can give me, the more you're going to get for your property. Option two, if you want more upfront, I'll tell you what, I'll get you out in 5 years. But what this is basically, okay, I know you want 250 and 12 isn't very much, but how about 4 times that much or 5 times that much? How about you get 64,000 up front and then there's a 5-year balloon and you'll get this. So you're getting pretty close to your cash, but a lot more up front. Your price, $230. And so what did I do here? What do you think I did here? Actually, so here's the secret. I'm not putting any more than $12,000 down. So where did the rest of the money come from for the $64,000? Any guesses?
Did it come from the owner?
No. So what I would be doing here is having one of my co-investors that invest with me all the time, I would have them buy a 5-year partial for the balance, right? So sometimes people don't need all the money, or if there was like some blended amount where, hey, I like your option 2, but I actually need to get like at least $400 a month. You know, they don't need the whole $1,230, you know, here's my payment, $1,200, $1,300. I don't need that, but I do need $400 a month. I just have to have 4,000. So basically then I'll redo the numbers, and the seller would get their 400, and what's left over, I would sell a front end partial to an investor. The numbers would change clearly because they can't bring as much money to the table. The 52,000 that would make up the difference, right? And then besides calculating yield here, just remember that I always have to reduce closing costs and you know, any other pad that I need. So if you're trying to figure out what's that yield, you're never going to exactly figure out what it is, but you can get close, you know. But when there's anyway, I'll go into that in this little thing I'm putting together here soon. But anyway, so that's an option. So option 3, I said, look, I feel bad for you. You know, she's like, no, if I don't get this much money, then I'll not be able to buy what I need. And it's sad. It's like, you hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the market does not care what you need. The market is the market. And so she was in dire need of imminent cash. She had almost no food in the house, you know, a couple gallons of gas in her tank. She wanted to leave town because all bad stuff had happened here. And so I'm trying everything I can think of to get her quick cash and manage all the risk reward sorts of things, right? So anyway, the other said, okay, look, if you can give me some time though, how about I'll just fix up your property? I can't fix the titling issues. Nobody can at this point. I exhausted that. I'll fix it up. You know, I'll put in the capital, and so that we can list it with a realtor, because you think that I'm being mean, not giving you what you want, but let's just see let's fix it up and get it so that it has mass exposure to see who's willing to pay the most for this property, even with the things that are wrong. And basically how I would do that is I would use a trust vehicle to protect me. Since I fix it up and then she decides she likes to stay there, that wouldn't be good, right? We already have to know that there's an executed agreement to sell. And I get my expenses back plus interest with a built-in hard profit, and I'll just leave the rest to that person. So this is 3 of probably really 7 or 8 that I gave her. But anyway, I just wanted to bring up, that's the hat. That's a hat if I'm buying the property, and I want to buy owner financed properties, right? That's one of my things I really want in this market. And if I was wearing a different hat, and too bad I don't have my cute little cowboy hat right now, I could put it on. But if I was the note buyer hat, let's say one of you brought this deal, or someone listening out there, you say, I want to buy owner finance property too, but lots of times the seller wants more of a down payment. I have no down payment, or I have a small down payment, but they're willing to carry if they can get a little more cash at closing. Then I'll come in and say, yay, let me help you put this deal together, and I'll buy the front end partial to bring the cash to closing, and in a way that makes it affordable for the buyer and also minimizes the discount for the seller, if that makes sense.